All right, so I'm sitting here reading this book my daughter got me for my birthday last year, the Rancher book. Thinking about a lot of different things, but number one is this concept of jobs, right? Because I'm reading it. What this book is the history of humankind, right? So in it, it describes how these seraphims, these angels, overlooked certain aspects of the human development, see, because we were an infant in consciousness initially. So their job, so to speak, as this book explains, these seraphim, their job is to, well, some of them are called thought adjusters, for example. Thought adjusters, right? And it's to redirect and guide us human beings so that our decisions in the big scheme of things, in the supernatural universe, in the big scheme of things, our behavior is what's important. A long time ago, I became familiar with the concept that the atom was not the most finite particle, right? We now know about probability fields. We understand from the double slit experiment that a conscious observer can manipulate the physical reality around them. And that's important because with regard to the seraphim and the history of our people, right? Consciousness is more likely, right, the substance of the universe. It's not just that we're beings of light, you see. The behaviors that the decisions we make, the things that we do, if we choose to sin, if we choose iniquities over and over and over, right? What you're doing is you're denying the reality of the universe, because the reality of the universe is light. Righteousness is the substance. That's why the Christ said to be like him. He didn't say to follow him. He didn't say to sully him with your pity, asking for pity, right? He said acknowledge him by doing his works, right? So with that said, behavior is important. Consciousness is the substance of the universe. It's not stuff. It's not atoms. So the idea that the atom is the most finite particle is an understanding that supports capitalistic endeavors. It's not what you do and who you affect and who loved you and who you have impacted in life. It's important. It's what you have. It's two different philosophical viewpoints and ways of looking at life. So that way, if one person looks at life where behavior is more important, say like a monk, right? These people don't require anything. They understand that desire and expectation are the roots of suffering. See, me being native and tapping into that understanding of spirit, mind, and body, right? I try to embody and embrace that feeling of love, right? I try to vibrate a particular frequency that emanates and radiates love rather than dark energies, dark matters. See what I'm saying? So with that said, I maintain a karmic balance. And this book right here, I've been diving into it, and it aligns with a lot of religious and philosophic historical texts that I've been familiar with. And with that said, man, I'm gonna keep this real short, you know what I'm saying? But like, when I was talking about the jobs, right, going back to that, the seraphim taught man industry, taught them the system of credit, right? So this is infantile man. And us, in our modern society, we have, if you look at the tests taken by 8th grade students in the 1890s and the early 1900s, right? Now I get the cultural differences and things like that, but like the thought, right? That the idea that TV didn't exist. So you spent your entire days and lives talking and out in the world, tending to the farms and things like that, right? It's a total shift now that with these communication technologies, when a change in technology occurs, it's a change in the way we interact with one another.
the way that we frame what's possible for ourselves and things like that. So one generation may have a totally different perspective of existence than we do. So I keep that in mind when dealing with my children and things like that. But this, this idea of, jobs, it's looked at as a negative thing when you have many. And I disagree with that. But that's something that I would invite people to, have some dialogue on this one. You know what I'm saying? It don't be enough. I don't care about the views as much. Those will come in time. But if I can initiate some dialogue. So what do y'all think? Is it looked at as a general negative when a person is multifaceted and has performed various capacities? You know what I'm saying? For money. Is it looked at as a general negative? These ain't the days when you had 3 jobs your whole life. I've had 60. It's a fact.